This long-awaited fight between the Gypsy King, undefeated in 34 fights, 33 wins, 1 draw, Tyson Fury, boxing's lineal heavyweight champion, and the Predator, Francis Ngannou, the former UFC heavyweight champion, who left the UFC after his victory against the French rgoan in January 2022. The both parties did express their true motivation for the fight. On Fury's corner, he said in a statement, "I'm looking forward to showing the world that the Gypsy King is the greatest fighter of his generation." But it's obvious that Fury wanted to take advantage from the peak of his career to make a lot of money, considering that his rivals in boxing doesn't have the exposure to sell a fight like this one. It can be also that is an opportunity to attract new fans from MMA.
Fight a boxer! He could fight a boxer!
Who?
There's plenty of guys in that top 10 of the WBC. What about Makhmudov?
Arslanbek Makhmudov or Frank Sanchez, they're 4 and 5, Frank.
I mean, what planet are you on? We're in the business of selling events here. They walk down the street, would anyone know them?
And on the other corner, Ngannou was always complaining about getting underpaid for his UFC fights, and it's obvious from his statements that this time he is satisfied. Last year, Khabib voiced his support for Ngannou's aspirations of making life-changing money by entering the world of boxing. The Eagle spoke to Sky Sports about the former heavyweight champion's negotiation battle with the UFC. He stated that if Ngannou was offered a $50 million purse to box Fury, he should take it. Now compare to it his $600K last UFC payment for defending his belt. The announcement clarified that the fight will take place in a regulation boxing ring under boxing rules, including 3 ringside judges using the 10-point must system, all along the 10 rounds. If you still don't understand the 10-point must system, I advise you to watch our video explaining it in the channel. If we make a comparison between the two champions, both of them are close in age and weight, and there is a slight advantage in height for Fury with 13 centimeters. But the bigger question, is it gonna be a fight to watch, or is it just simply getting 2 famous fighters as in boxing exhibition? Now everybody know how good is Fury, but what do we know about Francis Ngannou's boxing? From a small village in Cameroon, Africa, Ngannou worked in a sand quarry from the age of 10, later traveled on foot across the Sahara. The 36-year-old ended up being homeless on the streets of Paris before walking into a gym, a boxing gym. From there, he got famous for having the heaviest punch in the world, holding the current record with a striking power of 129,161 units on a power cube. It is around 96 horsepower. That's equal to getting hit by a Ford Escort going as fast as it can. Now it only takes a few pounds of pressure on the sweet spot to KO anyone. The trick is to find it. It is obvious with such a power, if Ngannou touch anyone, there is no second chance, which adds some excitement about the fight. But logically speaking, if Ngannou he was any good, he would be a boxer. In theory, he shouldn't be able to land a single punch on Fury. For this no ordinary task, it only makes sense that Ngannou would call in the big guns by hiring Mike Tyson to be in his corner, who is confident that former UFC champion Ngannou has the power to shock the world. Now the odds are for Tyson Fury's side with 1/9 Francis Ngannou 7/1 and a draw 14/1. While this fight likely does nothing for either man's legacy in their respective sport, it's impossible to overlook the curiosity factor. For as long as MMA has existed, there's been something of a natural rivalry between the two sports.